Anyway, so we're going to be working with that. What I'm going to do today is I think I'm going to start with doing sort of the line work with the small brush. So this, I guess I can show you. I got 2 brushes yesterday with the inks. I went with some silicone bristle brushes, wanting to sort of imitate a little bit the experience of working with the brush pen. So they're maybe a little more not stiff necessarily. They've got a flexibility to them, but a firmness also. So that's kind of what my idea was with picking up the silicone. So I got this one is Art Advantage. It's like your super off-brand brush. But what I liked about this one was the shape and size of the brush tip. So that's why I picked that one up. I couldn't find something similar in the name brand stuff, which this is one of the name brand. This is Princeton. It doesn't say the price on here, but you can see I still have the sticker. I don't remember how much this one was. Anyway, it's itty bitty around. It's a Princeton Summit, and this is what I'm going to work with first, making sure I don't have any fuzzies hanging off of it. Just to do the initial line work. And what I do when I'm doing a negative is I start with what looks like is sort of in the foreground and work myself to the background, because I want the negative part. Ooh, I have so much ink on this brush. I wanted the negative part to be sort of in the background, and maybe that'll make actual sense to you as I continue to work. Gosh, I feel so like I don't know what I'm doing with this. Even though like I've worked with brushes and implements like brushes for so long, it's still it's somewhat new to me. The ink is a new sort of medium in this way with the brush. So like with a brush pen like I've been using, I know what to expect of the ink flow. I know how much ink will come out of the brush generally. Sometimes, like if the ink is getting low, then that'll be like, oh, oops, it's a little surprising. Like I expected there to be more, for example. But generally, I know how much ink is going to come out. So that's one difference with using the paintbrush and ink. I can get so much more ink to flow out of the brush. So I have to be kind of careful. I have to like be a little slower than I would with a pen. So it's like something I just need to be mindful of. As I work, maybe just taking it a little slower than I might otherwise with the pen, to like really see how much ink is there. Otherwise I'm just gonna go in and like make big messes when I don't intend to. Sometimes I like to make a mess, but I like to do that intentionally when I do. Oops. this one, as I said, I try to work, when I'm doing the negatives, I want to work from the front to the back. And you'll kind of see why, I hope, as I go along here. Because what I want is there to be white spaces between the black, and for whatever reason it just seems to work well. I think it's just a matter of consistency. It gives a consistency to, although I did mess up there, to the line work, the white line work, because that's what I'm doing, is I am creating white spaces that give the image its definition, rather than creating like black lines, which would give definition to the image. Instead, I'm using the black to create white spaces. It's very fun in its way, I have to think a little bit more about what I'm doing, if that's, it's a little maybe counterintuitive to be doing it this way. So that's why I first did the things that are up front, and now I'm doing the ones in the back. You know what? I'm going to fill that in. There we go. Okay. Trying to I really want to get better brush control, and at the same time it's important that I remain open to what I'm doing, what is happening, and what is being created is also important. Not just what I want, but what is. What do I have? What is there as it is, without my kind of overlay of, oh, this is what I want, etc. This is weird. I don't know what I just did there. That's okay. We'll figure it out later. I don't quite know what I want to do with. Maybe what I could do is bring this down here. It's a little different than the original design. We'll see how that turns out. Oops. Still getting used to the negative image, the creation of the negative image. I'm still learning about that also. It's not the same as just creating a drawing, an image. Like I would just look at something and try to form that drawing in non-negative regularly, It's not the same. It's very different. It's a little more challenging. Interesting. I wonder if that'll look okay. I'm sure it will. Well, we're going to check it out. This is, after all, a negative. I'm really fascinated with doing these, like working with the same image over and over again. For example, like with the basic design, the line work, and then taking it to the table for a different style variation. uh, I get to see the design, the foundational design develop and refine in ways that I just didn't expect. And that's really cool. So I just looked over at my uh, little stream manager, and I can see the video, the stream as it's going, and I just noticed like, oh, my hand, it looked, the brush, the hand holding the brush, it looks so tight. Like I'm just like gripping this pen, maybe because I'm a little, I don't know, like maybe I'm a little anxious about doing this right or something, it can just be so many different things, but I just thought it was funny, like, oh goodness, a little tight there. So I wonder if I can loosen my hand up, if that would feel like a safe thing that I can do. Ooh, it just, okay, I think I really want to have control over this brush, which is funny to me. Like, of course I want to have control, and at the same time I want to let go of control. I don't want to be very controlling. That's not really my style. I want to learn how to let go of control, trying to control things, because there's actually very little that I can control, and the less the less sort of delusion I have about control, the better I feel, the better I am in navigating the way things change in my life, which, changes often, certainly, because that's just how life is. Like, things are always changing. Oops, I just did. No, hold on. This is doable. I just realized what I need here are some sort of lines. Hope you don't get my head in the video. No, you're good. Okay. I just feel like I'm leaning kind of far over. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This takes a little more thinking. Like, where am I gonna put these white lines? And I can't just like draw a line. I have to like create a space, which is so different than what I'm used to with regular sort of like pencil or painting. Something that I want to get better at, for sure.